Alright, do it again. Alright, so these episodes are coming out pretty quick, back to back. Just trying to cover as much data as possible and start, as I've said repeatedly, trying to catch up y'all with where the car is actually at. And so this trunk repair was not something I planned on doing before I got the car drivable. But once I took the gas tank out and saw how bad the trunk was, just ended up being that thing. So this one we're just kind of finishing that up and making it look cleaner. Some of y'all might not like the method I took for the repair, but I tell you what, it cost me about $35 versus a couple hundred buying the patch panels and all that stuff. So that's how I came to that decision. Hope y'all enjoy it. Appreciate it. I did go ahead and do rust reformer around this edge first, just so I could treat the floor pan before just slapping something over it. Pretty sure this is more than the factory did as far as seam sealing this part. Again, these two tabs right here are what the gas tank bolts to, which is what led me to this whole distraction, or down this rabbit hole of fixing the trunk, or at least some of it. It's not really my intent to fix the whole trunk. Maybe one or two other holes I might look at. And this is some AC Delco brand. So we got a little bit of Chevrolet going on here on a Mopar. You know, it's not like MLS swapping it or anything. Wouldn't want to make the rest of the guys grumpy. I don't know if it's the same way for Ford and Chevy guys. If the hot rod guys and the resto guys, I don't know. Do y'all bicker back and forth about if somebody's doing something to their car that the resto guys don't agree with? Do the hot rod guys get mad at them? Or I mean, do the resto guys get mad at the hot rod guys for doing stuff that's not quite factory? It happens quite a bit in Mopar forums and stuff like that. That's why I ask. You can post that in the comments. I've never really cared what somebody else does with their car. It's just you know, it's their car. Now this one is going to be somebody else's car eventually, but I am the one that decided to task myself with keeping it around, because it was not far away from just not being here anymore. Because another year or two and this car would have been way worse off than it is now. Don't get much working time with this stuff. It starts to dry up pretty quick. Man, it gets so gloopy. Yeah. Alright. That is our masterful trunk repair. By masterful, I mean good enough. In case you forgot, this guy here's how he started this whole thing, but that's we're a long way away from that now. So while I was under here, I went ahead and cleaned this area, and that rust reformer says to clean off the scale, the stuff, loose rust basically, which is what I've done. And I got to come through here and do rust reformer. I'm at least going up to this area here where the gas tank's going to cover. If you can see that where the gas tank was is the best looking part of the trunk. But I want to rust reform basically the underside of the frame rail to underside of the frame rail up to the rear differential area, because I haven't quite figured out what I'm doing there. But I'm probably going to do the brush on rust reformer that I got. That way I'm not spraying with it just coming back down on my face, because I'd just rather not. But here we are. We're making a little headway. Got under here and cleaned this with a bunch of Scotch-Brite pad yesterday. And again, it's not perfect. It's not going to be the car, if you were to do some kind of frame off deal on it, is not valuable enough for that. But it is valuable enough to put a decent amount of money into and still be able to get out from under it without, you know, possibly losing your ass. And, you know, get it driver quality and get it down the road for somebody else. There's some stuff under here. Looks kind of cool. I'll bring this camera in. If you look on the frame rails right here, they're stamped. And I don't know if it's part numbers or VIN tag numbers, but stamped there and there. As you can see where the gas tank was, of course this looks like garbage, but I have to pull it and see what I'm doing. I'm $45 or $50 to buy a new one. But where the gas tank was is where it looks best. Here's my patch. You know, other than a few little areas like that, there's a little hole up there. The car is really, other than looking like, I mean, it looks way worse than it is under here. The color of rust. You have scale over here, but nothing terrible. There are some holes right there, and there's this hole is one I was considering fixing. That goes straight into the trunk. I initially thought that hole was going to be right above this frame rail, but it's not. So I'm probably still going to patch it just because it looks bad. But there we are. We're going to give this seam sealer some time to dry. it's not the smoothest job. Once that stuff goes on, man, you don't have long to work it. Because once I did, it started clumping pretty good. But there we are. And there's that vaunted 8 3/4 Chrysler differential. You can see new brake lines. You can see the backs of the wheel cylinders poking through. You see these glorious Monroe air shocks. The car doesn't have huge tires on it, but I don't think these tires were ever on it when it was operational. They're really small, but clearly he wanted some clearance. I'm not sure what we got here. Probably something for holding up exhaust that shouldn't have been there. You can see them exhaust hangers that I cut off. But we'll get this dried, and then I'm gonna do some rust reformer on it. While the seam sealer is drying, I'm going to go ahead and start putting the rust reformer on this thing underneath. This is the Rust Reform 2-in-1 Rust Reform and Seal. It's like, it's rubberized, so it's kind of, it's an undercoating slash. It's got whatever magic juice rust reformer is in it as well. It kind of smells like rust reformer. That was a surprise, but since it's the same stuff. I've not used, well, I use the brush on just straight up rust reformer on the front. I have not used this stuff with the rubberized stuff built into it. The good thing about it is, unlike Porsche 15, you can pick this stuff up at Walmart. I guess Walmart may have some Porsche 15. I don't think so. I think you can get it on Walmart's website. And the brush on is, you know, a lot better than huffing the damn fumes. My sinuses get jacked up every time I try. Every time I have to spray the paint. I have like an actual paint mask respirator, but I think it's in my car, which is at a friend's house, because this car takes up the whole garage. This car just kind of happened. The price was right. I had money to buy it, and it was the right, you know, equipment that made it worth saving. That is completely how this car happened. I don't know if it happened to me or I happened to it.
Like petals on roses, let blood drip from me. There's ghosts all around us. Let death walk with me. There's nothing I can do to stop me from falling down, down, down. There's nothing I can do to save me from falling down. Now, I did not set out on this car to use a bunch of
Rust-Oleum stuff, but it just really kind of happened because it's so easy to get a hold of compared to a lot of other stuff out there. But and this white that I'm using is really close to the factory color, and because of that, I like to use Rust-Oleum primer because it's less likely to have some kind of weird reaction, you know, and I'll peel up on me or something. I say that, I don't know that that's true. That's the logic. That's how my brain works. My brain says if they make both of them, the chances are it's closer to being able to work together than if you get Krylon for one brand, one thing, Duplicolor for another. You know, 5 different paint brands. I think I did use some Krylon primer that worked, but what it did with the what it did do with the paint was make it where it took eternity to dry. Ooh, drip all over. I got that shit all over my elbow now. Oh, it's gonna be everywhere. That brush was way too wet. Oh no. You know, it's on my back too. I can feel it on my shirt. Doesn't run amok under here. I know it's on my elbow. My elbow's all sticky feeling. And this shit is sticky. Oh, it's so sticky. I can feel it sticking my shirt to this cardboard. Oh, don't do that. I'm having a hard time seeing. Ooh. In that area. Oh yeah, stuff's nice now. Fixing to finish this deal off. This stuff is dripping everywhere. You know, a little extra coating on the floor would be alright. Alright, so off camera I did do some more work on the trunk. As far as the trunk is concerned, we are done for now, because the only reason I even got sidetracked into the trunk is because the trunk holds up the gas tank. So I was fixing the gas tank area. And that part's done. I did rust reform this, which y'all saw on camera, but I'm not going to do this front section up here just yet because I want to do the wheel wells at the same time, and I want to pressure wash all of that, and I can't do that until I can back this thing out of the garage. So next step for now is going to be hanging a gas tank. The gas tank straps that came off the car are probably usable. However, I did not, when I took them out, I just went ahead and ordered them, just in case. And I'm going to use them. The new ones came in and they were straight mild steel. And instead of letting those rust, I took and painted them, so they're drying, but I'm fixing to get under here and get fuel lines where they need to be first, and that way when I get the tank up in there I can get all that done at once. I'm probably going to back this guy out of here and then see if I can push it in instead of trying to wiggle it in while I'm under the car. I'm going to have to look and see, I'm not sure. But the trunk we will come back to. I did clean it, vacuumed it and all that stuff. This area is ready to go for paint, but I'm going to knock out some of this, vacuum it all out again, and then see where I go from there. Definitely going to come back to it though. But it's not getting a full trunk pan. But I do want to address that.